parenting is a difficult journey. And when you have to go through it alone, it's very difficult.
Indeed, it can be very difficult, very stressful, and that is why we are discussing this topic, single parenting. Join us to understand what it means to be a single parent. Karibu. We are so excited to have this topic, single parenting, and join us to welcome Tabitha and Richard. Today we have Tabitha and Richard.
We are about 23 years in marriage.
Yes.
We want to thank God.
Richard is walking and trying to find out his Tabitha following.
Karibu sana, Richard. Welcome back.
Hi, Tabi.
Missed you.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Thank you for coming.
Today I look happier, right?
I can see.
Yeah, we've even noticed that even
The
your
walking
walking
style has changed.
I can't help it.
Single parenting.
Yeah.
Yes. We want to talk about this.
Yeah.
And we are so excited because we have Maureen.
Oh, okay.
Maureen is going to be the person that is going to tell us more about single parenting. And again,
Yeah.
Maureen has been through this. And just come.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Here she comes.
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to
Good to see you, Maureen. And
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
for
you
the
for
show.
coming, Maureen.
It means a lot
Karibu.
to us.
Karibu sana.
It means a lot. So everyone,
Yes.
like I say, ladies and gentlemen, let's have our seat.
Thank you.
Richard, I've always, the other times you were missing, I would say, ladies, let's have a seat.
You became one of the ladies.
Now, once again, thank you, Maureen,
Thank
for
you.
coming. Thank you, Richard and Tabi. Of course, thank you, Linda. Single parenting. What is single parenting? Because when we get into this discussion, I want our viewer to understand what it means to be a single parent. Yes.
On a very simple definition, I would actually say that single parenting is a situation where you are a parent, but you are alone. Yes. So you are single, and you may be single with a child, or single with children, or single without. But then the other half of yourself is not there. So you are single, basically. You're just on your own. You are alone.
And that could be either the woman or the man.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
And single parent, a single parent can either be, it could be because of a situation, it could be temporary,
Choice.
or it could be permanent, right?
Yeah.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are these reasons why someone can be single?
Could be because of death,
Some by choice.
delay.
Yes, the reasons could be
So many, yeah.
various reasons. For that. Yeah, out of choice, out of situations.
Yeah.
One can get into single. Yeah.
Okay. Maureen, it is said that parenting requires, is a journey, and it's somehow a tough journey that requires the other one to complement and supplement. What is your take on that now that you are here as a single parent?
Thank you for that question. It's important for a child to be raised by both parents, as it was designed by God. But unfortunately, at times you can find ourselves in situations which we never planned for. You can be a single parent, just like you've said, by default or by design. So parenting in itself is a journey. So minus the other partner, it becomes a little bit difficult, and therefore the parent who is remaining behind needs to up the game. And you need to work with God and walk through this journey. Without God, you will go crazy. You will not make it. You will lose that child or lose those children, and you will have nothing to count for in future.
Very well. Thank you, Maureen, for that. And we'll come back to a statement that you've made that if you're alone and things are moving very fast, you can go crazy.
Yes.
We'll get
And
back
Dave,
to
can
that.
you imagine that
Before,
okay.
before that, there is also another parent,
Yeah.
a single parent that also want to bring in the absentee parent. So the other spouse is raising up these children by him or herself. Maybe the other parent is not, is probably out for some duties, or is just there, but you're raising your child or your children alone.
These are two situations. You, the parent, is present and not present.
Yes.
Then there's the one who is far away. There are two situations.
Yes, but still the person who is with the children
Yeah.
Is
seemingly
single.
is a single parent.
Yeah, we can give them a name. We can call them widows or widowers of the living.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, I like that.
that's a bit
I wanted to really
Yes,
stress on
Tabi.
what Maureen was saying. Like she said, it's really crazy raising up a child as a single parent. Can you imagine? There are so many parents, like both kids who have both parents, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
How about if you're
Can
single?
imagine, yeah.
You know, when you're both both parents are around, you're able to even, consult and talk about this child. But when you're single, it's just ridiculously crazy. Yeah. But the absentee parent, because of duty, because of different reasons, is also really hard,
Tough,
and it's
yeah.
straining.
Still tough, yeah.
we can say that whatever the situation,
Yeah.
whether one is away because of duty
Yeah.
or away for another reason, a single parent goes through a lot of challenges. A single parent faces a lot of challenges. When God talks about, when God brought us together, I mean, male and female, and said you'll be one. And then God goes ahead to mention that this is a helper meet for you.
Yeah.
You can imagine, this is really a helper.
Yeah.
Because you need help. On your own as a person, you may not be able to take it.
True.
You need to be
Tired
two.
along the way.
Ideally,
Yeah.
you need to be two. And situations come up and then
Yeah.
you are alone. It's not easy. It can be difficult. Whatever situation.
Thank you, Richard, for bringing in the biblical setup where God himself sees that the man should not be alone. It is important that we need to give him a help.
Yes.
But in this case, there is no help. And thank you for bringing it well that we have single parents because of various reasons.
Yes.
Most people may just think that a single parent is someone who has a child with no wife or no husband. But we also talk about single parents because of delay, because of death,
Divorce.
and even divorce.
Yes.
Yes. So what is the society's view in relation to what the Bible says? These people are supposed to be two, and there's only just one person. Do we have single fathers?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
It was.
We have. We have out of divorce, out of different situations. We have many, quite many. Especially now in this world where we have a lot of challenges. There are many, quite a good number.
Okay.
Yes.
So the question then comes in, what are the tips that we can suggest or think about to help single parents raise their children? Maureen here has a son. What are the tips that probably Maureen can tell us what she applies so that this son can be able to be raised in the absence of a father? And then the other scenario is there is the absence of a father or a mother because of death. These are two different cases.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you for the opportunity once again. What I can say is what has been working for me is I'm very open with my child. We sit down and discuss issues. He's, I do not hide, sorry, excuse me. I do not hide anything from him. Like, you know, there are those moments when a child is low and they feel like, where is my dad? It happens even in school. I've been called many times by the teachers that, you know, your child.
You can take a sip of water. Richard, you wanted to weigh in on this, huh?
Yes.
We are coming back to Maureen.
I just wanted to tie in a question before she would have responded. But it's okay, that where we are. That situation where you are called at your son
It's a father.
is this or that, you know, he's not what he is, as usual.
Yes.
He's a little out of the usual situation where he is. Then you are called and you have to go, and you're the one who's representing yourself as a mother, and probably you get to know that this is a manly kind of situation. Yeah, how would you then, how do you come in, you know, help this person who is also taking care of a boy? Yeah, yes.
Thank you. I'm taking care of a boy. My, the times I've been called to school and the teacher has reported to me that, you know, your son broke down. We were discussing this topic called the family tree. And, you know, the other children are mentioning their fathers and their mothers and their siblings. And then when his turn comes, he has nothing to say because he only sees the mother. So being myself being the father, mother, siblings and auntie, I have to step in. And you know what I do is I explain to the teacher the situation, just being open to the teacher. Then when you get back home, I sit down with the child and we talk and we pray and I encourage him. So I am not only the mother, but again I step in as the father, because now the boy is broken. He feels lonely, he feels out of place, he feels like he doesn't deserve to be with the other children. And I even at times I point him to the other families too, where they are both parents but the children look miserable. So I tell him, you know what, you're even better off. Look at,
you know, we are careful as teachers. We'll be very careful, for example, to tell children to write a composition
About my father.
about my father or my mother. We simply go to the player and say, write one about a parent. You don't separate, you don't show that you are talking about a father or mother, because one may not have a mother and one may not have a father. And then they will be blank. There's nothing to say, really.
It is beautiful.
So
those are serious challenges.
There are serious challenges they face in school.
I think, Maureen, I don't know, I'm not in your situation, but I'm thinking, for example, the example that you show Ty, he's called Ty, right? Showing him, like, for example, you know, that family has both parents, but they don't. I think the next time you should use an example of a single mother and say, hey, look, he is having a single mother and he's doing so well. I think that will also even motivate him more.
So that he's not feeling lonely in this situation. My question or point of discussion is, Maureen is called from school or to go to school, and then probably she's at work. She has to juggle this work, the responsibility in school, all that. Do you think? Don't you think that that is already?
I can just imagine that you are one person. You can't even divide yourself like, this part let it remain in the office, this part let it go to school. I think it's sometimes very difficult, and it calls for a good parent who understands you. A good teacher who understands you. Maybe when you tell the teacher, I'm not in a position to come now, maybe I can come in the evening. But you see, human beings are human beings.
But Maureen made it clear that she has had that conversation with the teacher.
But you can have that conversation, yes, but people take it differently. Some will be just, they want you to feel that you're not doing complete. You're not doing enough.
Even at that point that you have the conversation, you see at the back of your mind, you're here, you are at work, then you have this pending issue that you also have to go and discuss, and it is just you and you alone. What are some of the challenges that you have faced, especially social isolation, you know, how the society view such people?
Wow. The challenges are a lot. And some of them are very painful and depressing. But for me, God has raised me up to this level that I only look up to God. I do not look up to friends. I do not look up to the church. In fact, I think the church is the best and the worst place to be for a single parent. You know why? Because that is where you'll find the spiritual support. And at the same time, that is where you will find the stigma, the social stigma. This is a place, for me, as I was growing up, I knew the church to be a place of comfort, a place of joy, a place of refuge. But now that I'm an adult and I'm a single parent, it becomes a place of social isolation and stigma. But at the same time, it is the place where I and my son get spiritual nourishment. So finding a balance, whether to stay or to move, takes the hand of God. We as the single parents, especially the single mothers, young one like me, we face a lot of challenges. If I smile with Dave twice, people will be blowing up in church. She wants to lure him. She's breaking that house. When a home is broken somewhere, the first suspect are these young single mothers, and especially if you dress smartly. Women don't like that. They do not like that at all. They want to see you miserable. They want to see you looking unhappy all the time, so that they confirm that truly you're single and suffering. But if you want to put up that face of joy and self-acceptance, and you're just living your life, and then you smile with an elder twice, my friend, you'll be in trouble. So the way I deal with these issues, because they will always come up, not only for me, but I believe I represent many people who have gone through the same. The way I deal with these issues is, at first they used to hurt me a lot, but God has raised me in such a way that they do not hurt me anymore. When someone talks like that about me, or when someone thinks that way about me, I think the problem is with the person, not me. I don't have a problem, because they are accusing me of something I have not done. It is the insecurity in their home that is making them feel that way. It's not my problem. So I do not feel guilty about it. You
reach a point where you develop a thick skin.
I used to feel bad. It used to hurt me a lot. At some point, I almost stopped going to church. But this verse always encourages me. Romans 8, I think it's 23, that all things work for the good. For those who God takes the bad, God takes the good, He puts them together and works for your good, not for your destruction, but for your good.
But I like the point, Maureen, that you continued coming to church for the sake of your child. Because the beauty about the church, the Seventh-day Adventist church, they have the different classes. So your baby gets so busy with the different whatever. So that takes it away from him.
So just on that, because I don't want us to live and move to the next point and leave it hanging. What would be the support mechanism that should happen, or we should have within the church setup, so that such cases can easily be sorted out? Talking about role models, because she's raising a boy. This boy needs a father figure. And the only place that she can get, or the boy can get a father figure, is the church.
The church, yes. It's true.
That's
when she's in the process of, you see, if you're looking for a role model, there are things that you're looking for from that person. So they have to be so careful to really understand what that role model is going to do in the life of their son. And I think at times it's always in order, because it is not bad. You're alone, and you cannot play the two parts. There are things that only a man can be able to share with that boy. So that's where we need a role model, and when this role model comes into
take advantage
the life of the boy and takes advantage, just like Tabi says, sometimes it demoralizes people.
You also bring in this as you were weighing in. What about the divorced?
Yes. There are two issues I think about when we think or when we consider the divorced. Divorces are not very easy.
Yeah, they're not.
They are difficult situations. Sometimes they may have come from the father of the child. Sometimes the challenges may have come from the mother of the child. And this separates the parent. And in that situation, I think firstly the child is weighed down by the situation and the reason for the divorce. And for that reason, the child might have some negativity on the side that he or she perceives that was wrong to have separated the two. Now you're fighting two different challenges. One, you're fighting your situation as a parent, either male or female, and then you're fighting within you and the child over what caused this kind of separation. Yeah, it's a very difficult situation. It's a very difficult situation. So God is the only person that can help us on this one.
So I want us to spend now more on how we can help deal with such situations.
Yeah.
Because there are so many examples that this is a practical scenario here. We see what happens.
Yes.
We hear what happens. Like Maureen is sadly saying that just smiling twice with an elder who has probably a very hawk-eyed wife, you know, they'll start pointing out. So how do we deal with this?
And you know, sometimes it is always very difficult. Once you feel like people are, when you are just about to share something with maybe this elder and people are looking at you, sometimes by then you decide to keep it off. You say, I don't want any issues. So sometimes it makes this person, they really want to be helped, but they are imagining what will people say, Ama, how will it come out to be? Because people are so careless with their words, they're never kind.
Yeah.
And
when you're talking about that, you have it in your mind as well, thinking about the other person in a sense. You are talking about situations that ladies, single parent, and these are ladies, go through most of the time. There are situations when it's men who are in the church, who can't cast an eye or just look at another person, because as it is, for both sexes, men, women, there are those men who are also on the back of their wives in the church. Why is Dave looking at my wife? Well, what does he want? And you also have these names that you work with. You don't know them, but they are called. That's what they are calling you. Dave the this, Dave the that, Dave the other one. It's a situation that goes both ways. And while it's easy sometimes to sympathize about women and their situation, it can be very painful for men.
And very hard, because
Very
men
hard
don't
and
open
very
up.
painful.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't open up easily.
They don't.
Yeah.
They hardly do. Yeah, they hardly do.
So we have identified the problem, and thank you for highlighting that single parents are not just parents with children, but not the spouse, but we also have parents who are, I mean, both parents, but one is
absent.
One is
absent, yeah.
So how do we deal with this? One point that is coming into my mind, but I don't know how now we can properly put this, is leaning on others.
Yes.
You see, leaning on others may mean that you want your son, Stanley, to have a role model.
Exactly.
From Richard, an elder in church, or from Richard, who probably conducts himself in a certain way. So, as Stanley's mother, you like something about Richard, the way he conducts himself, and you would want your son to do what Richard does.
Yeah.
And Tabby is sitting there, and she's like,
Really?
really? You see? So that is the problem. We want to take a break and we come back and see what are these solutions. What are these practical solutions that you can really apply to this situation.
And what is workable for you.
And what is workable for you at that point. Coming back shortly, don't touch that dial. Welcome back. We are talking about single parenting, the challenges that come with it, and everything. We are trying to find out a mechanism of how best we can deal with single parents, dealing with them in the sense that we give them the necessary support that they need. We have identified that it could be because of death that you become a single parent, because of divorce, because of delay, or there are those who live together, but you end up raising your child by yourself, or the other spouse is away. That is also a single parent. Something that also came into my mind when we were sipping our water during the break is that we also have spiritual singleness.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Let's start with that, then we come back to the solutions.
Yes.
So how do we deal with the problem? That is what you're asking,
No,
right?
well, spiritual
Oh, okay.
singleness.
Now, this is a very broad one, Dave.
Yeah.
And when you talk of single parenting, spiritually, then the vast majority of people have that problem. When you want a role model for your child, and this role model probably is in church, and this is the person you think you can draw closer to your son or daughter, and somebody doesn't have the spiritual strength to accept you as a role model within the setup of the church, that already is a problem, because you may have a wife or a husband or a partner for that matter who is spiritually single. I mean, we should understand, you should understand the fact that this person is single, and as parents, as friends, and more so spiritual friends, we need to also have that feeling and understanding of a situation where a friend or a church member is single physically, for whatever reason, and there are children here who need support, who should be role modeled. And therefore, when somebody raises a finger on how you have behaved or whatever you are doing, they are looking at your other end, the unspiritual side of you, that you may end up being dangerous to this child, or they want to stop him behaving well to that child who needs help. Then it's a serious one, especially in the church. Especially in the church, because this is where you want to have your peace. This is where you want to have support. This is where you want to have brothers and sisters seeing the situation and helping you. When they are running away from, or rather when you are being pushed away, then you have a serious challenge. Because spiritually, if somebody is divorced spiritually, then as good as nothing. Yeah, he is as good as nothing. A Christian must espouse, must show certain trends or traits which are supposed to be reflecting Christ, whom we believe in. If this person doesn't have that, and you don't have the trust to know that Dave is a Christian, and therefore the traits he's showing should be those that are based on Christ himself, I'm seeing you as an enemy when you come close to Tabitha, and Tabitha is struggling with a child who needs role models, you already are having a divorce. You're already single and struggling spiritually.
Wow. Well,
you need help more than the one who needs help with the child.
that is well articulated. Now, Maureen, do you date?
Of course I do.
Amen.
Yeah. I'm still young.
Tell us about it, because the next thing we are going to discuss is, you said it, and I promise that we are going to talk about it. Going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about this dating bit. Yeah.
A little going crazy as in?
We will break it down.
Yeah, I date. But I am one person who scrutinizes a man. One thing I will not take from a man is spiritual immaturity. Because you're going to be the priest of that home. For me, once you step in as the man, I mean, take your responsibilities as the man. One of them is being the priest, very crucial for me. So if you do not display that character before we settle, for me, you're out. Yeah. And I do not rush because I'm aging. I would rather not get married than get married to someone we are going to fight the rest of my life. Because for me, you see, I'm not doing this for myself alone. I have a child I'm raising. So I'm also looking at the welfare of this boy. What kind of a man do I want to bring into his life? Is he going to be a father figure, or is he going to introduce him into womanizing and stuff like that? I mean, I've come a long way. So why would I introduce my child to somebody who's going to take him off the track? That is one thing I'm not going to compromise. There are things I cannot compromise on. And before I even introduce you to my child, I have to scrutinize you thoroughly, and I always do this on my knees. There's a question that I normally ask God to answer for me. Reveal this person to me. Reveal me to this person. So the answer that God will give will depend. My decision will not interfere with the revelation of God. Whether that person is a drunkard, and I accept them like that, and I know they're going to introduce my child into alcoholism, I will not blame God. He revealed it. So I would encourage the other single mothers not to rush because of age. Kindly do not rush because of age. You'll put your children into a lot of trouble if you do that.
But sometimes desperation.
Let me reintroduce Maureen now.
Yes.
In my church, when we have a social function, especially with the youth, they introduce themselves. My name is Dave Nyaga. I am single and searching. I want to reintroduce this lady here. This is Maureen, single and searching. But she has her measuring standard, which every one of us should have. So I know you are burning.
Yes.
But I also want to underscore that single parents, especially the delays, the divorce, the which other one, death, you are free.
Of course.
To mingle.
Of course
right?
you are.
No one is tying anyone anywhere.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now you can.
Sometimes I feel for these ladies, especially the ladies, when there are a lot of pressure from the society. So sometimes someone might bow down to the pressure and then make a wrong decision. So I would advise, maybe just pray to God to give you that patience so that you are able to make the right decision. But just like Maureen says, you've come a long way. You imagine, even financially, you have to be, imagine your salary.
Calculate your coins
well. So sometimes it's usually crazy, but God is here to help.
Okay, before anyone speaks, there is this thing that I think is the problem when it comes to dating and marriage for somebody who has been single for a long time. The pressure she has talked about. Your parents are pushing, your friends are pushing. No, people are even calling you names. Zile jokingly.
They kind of have your biology.
Yes, you know, hey, and you, when are you
getting married?
When are we coming for your wedding? You know, such like questions, and you feel like
that's depressing.
It can be depressing. It can be very depressing.
And that is the craziness I was talking about.
Or they give your name
being
sister,
pushed to the wall until
you see young ones coming and they are married, they are wedding, young ones coming, and you are there.
Many times people want you to go to that place blindly.
Yes.
You know, we have a saying that love is blind. It has no eyes. So just go in
Yeah.
Don't think about any other thing.
And the elderly women will tell you,
Yes.
men are men.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no perfect man. You're looking for an
Imagine.
angel.
Yeah.
You will
Come
not
on.
find them.
Don't buy that.
And you know you have your
I'm
standards.
sorry.
Huh?
Yeah, you
Don't
do.
buy that.
No,
Yeah.
I sincerely, before, when I was a little younger, I used to be so judgmental of single ladies, especially with kids. You'd be like, can you imagine? She has 3 kids in the home, and she's not yet married. I never understood. Because truth is, you get this man and you're thinking, yeah, this is the right person. And hey, it doesn't work. But you're not even 60 years old. Your life has to continue, right? And then you, just like you said, you have your standards. And the same lady will have their standards. But men are crazy, or even women. For example, they know that Maureen is very strict and is so godly and it goes to church, Wednesday prayers, Sabbath, she's always in church. You know what this man will do? We'll start doing exactly that.
Will come to church.
But that's what Maureen said, that
Yes.
she asks God to reveal.
Yeah, but I'm just giving
Yes.
a situation. So why? Because they want
Yeah.
to win Maureen's heart. Then Maureen will be like, yeah, I think, yeah,
He's a good man.
he's a good man. Let me give it a try.
even in
So do you want a
dating.
big wedding? And the wedding is there. 2 years down the line, it doesn't work. Where does that lead Maureen? Being single again. But that does not stop. Her life does not stop. She will also still want to date. So at times it's so easy to judge. I had a friend, we went to school together, and she always told me, Tabi, when I cleared high school, we cleared the same time, I had this Cinderella kind of, finish school, go to college, get married to this tall, whatever
Dark and
man,
handsome.
and we all buy a home and we have our car, and God blesses us with children. As we speak, she is not married, but she has kids. But she's happy being single. Many people think that when you're single,
You're
you are
miserable.
depressed. No.
I like Maureen's attitude.
Yes.
Very positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stay
And
positive.
even her
by the
prayer
way.
life,
Yes.
she asked God for direction.
Directions,
Yeah.
She asked God for everything. And
You
even
don't do it
maintaining the
alone.
attitude towards dating.
Right.
Some people will just say,
Yeah, all
I
men
hate
are the
men,
same.
all men are
But
the
you
same.
see, if someone is at that point, maybe he or she has been disappointed several
Yeah.
times, but you don't also blame them. They just need to seek help for
Yeah.
counseling so that they can
Exactly.
be able to see the world in another
Another
perspective.
perspective. You were just whispering to me about, you call them internally displaced parents.
Yeah.
Those are the single parents.
Yeah.
But
You're
they're
married,
the
but you're
IDPs,
single.
yeah.
So how do we help these people?
Oh yeah, I think the best thing is keep busy, because if you continue to be like that, you'll be so depressed, and go on your knees. And I
mean,
still
you
always
talk.
insist, hang out with people that you look up to. Yeah, there are people in the church that you really look up to, and you can always share your story, not to everybody. I can have a prayer partner and I'm like, you know what, I'm going nuts. Yes, I'm living with this man, but I'm literally single. You cannot do anything together. He doesn't pay bills. He's just not there in your life, So sharing with a trusted friend is also very key. Because if we leave it, that's where we get a lot of debts. Yeah.
Now, this also happens in the Christian setup.
Yes.
Divorce and separation. We may not divorce, but we are separated. So how do you now take your children through? How would you advise someone going through such a process of divorce and separation? The children are involved.
Yeah.
At some point, the law indicates that it's the mother who has the right, or the law,
when the
the law
children are
is
still-
inclined towards the mother to have to be with the children. How do you advise? Because this is happening in the Christian
Yeah,
setup.
but then it's happening, and especially I know sometimes people leave when they are so bitter. So me, for example, like the mother, I would like to tell the children of negative things about the father,
Which is not
which is not right. So I think we should just pray to God to give us that, because when divorce happens, a lot of things.
It devastates.
It
tears
is
Even the
apart.
kids'
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
is affected.
So
Divorce happens as the last resort.
yeah.
Because once divorce comes, that one is a gone chapter. Ideally, that's what it is. The Bible equates or tells us that we can be free from the bound or the binding of the marriage when death
happens.
has happened. Now, separating before that time, divorcing before death, in itself is like death coming in. It is very challenging. It is very challenging. And when that happens, I think we need to be, first of all, we need to have a very strong support system. The people who are around us
will influence.
Must influence us in a way as to take us away from that pain. Of course, there are going to be reminders. There could be a divorce where children are existing and they're there, and one would ask you my dad or may ask you my mom and all that. And in today's situations even worse, because a child may have to live with you separated from the mother, and I'm living with another woman. Where he goes, the mother is living with another man. There's confusion here. This is my dad. Yes, he bought me, I'm his son. This is my father. He loves my mother. He's living with my mother. He's treating my mother very well. My dad wasn't treating my mother like that. But at the same time, there is another person there. You can just imagine what kind of situation this will be for a child. And therefore, it is difficult. Secondly, that situation may be there where people have gone apart. But you know, some of us heal faster and go into a different relationship. And the child is here, fends from the father, but the child lives with the mother and another child, another husband. Look at the kind of situation this is. What I say commonly is that you don't want a divorce. Please sort out your issues. Try as much as you can. It is better you go lowly to a situation where you can just put your eyes there and be seen as somebody who is just here. But for the sake of the child, you be there. Because once the child has come, marriage is different when there's no child. And it's equally different when there's a child. It's a serious one. It's a seriously challenging one.
It is a serious problem that we really have to deal with.
Yes,
and
it's a really big.
I'll be very glad if we come up. There's something that you've mentioned, Richard, that we can also play a role.
Yes.
To others who are coming after us.
Yes.
We can also play a role that we stand and talk about this as we are talking about it right now. We go through situations, we go through stuff.
Exactly.
But that should not be a reason.
It isn't.
For us to separate.
No.
Unless, I'm looking for a very good reason why people should separate.
Violence, when it gets physical and you're so much damaged by the way physically. I think that's not divorce, it's separation. You get a breather.
Well,
I'm looking at the situation from a different perspective. If I stay in this marriage that is depressing,
toxic,
and have children here, do you think they're going to be happy?
You're raising another
we are
toxic
here,
generation.
the two of us, yes. You know, I'm raising a bitter child.
Very bitter.
I'm depressing this child because I want to stay.
Yes.
Maybe I want to stay not for me, but for them. But you know, I am doing more harm than good. My intentions are good, but in reality, I am doing more harm than good.
Truth is, you're doing more harm.
Yes.
Very
we
true.
would rather separate, we would rather divorce, and then how we deal with this divorce is what is will impact so much on the child. First thing that one needs to do is to accept that there was a marriage. It's no longer there.
And
it was there.
Explaining this, bringing this
positively
to the child, so that the child can understand.
Yes. Before you reach that point of even explaining stuff to the child, you have to deal with you.
Yourself.
You have to deal with you. Because if you are messy and chaotic from in there, that is what will dish out to the child.
Out of the abundance of the heart.
Exactly. So you need to deal with you. You may not afford a counselor, you may not afford a therapist, but let me tell you from experience, there is no counselor or therapist that matches Christ.
Wow.
There is no one.
Thank you.
You sit down with God
Consultations.
and talk to Him like I'm talking to you right now. You scream, you cry, you discuss things. And let me tell you, God never keeps quiet.
Yes.
Very well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a phrase that goes like this. Bad things happen when good people keep quiet. Do you think we have a responsibility?
Yeah.
We have.
Yes.
We have serious
Very
responsibilities.
serious.
Because as we come to understand the situation here, Maureen is giving us first-hand experience about being a single parent. Where we have come from, we know how these situations probably arise. We hear people saying, oh, this person has done that person has done that. Two people cannot agree, eventually they separate, they divorce. But there is a support mechanism. I think if we organize ourselves as Christians first and foremost, then as friends, then as relatives, we can give very strong support to people who are in this kind of situation.
Yes, Tabby?
I think we also really need to listen to the child. Many times we forget about this child.
He's relegated.
Yeah.
To a very
And
low
you
place.
can listen to the child's, for example, the challenges that he's going through, either directly or even through friends, or even through that trusted uncle or auntie, because they are able to open up. So if we can also take our time to listen to what this child is going through, it will also be sorted. Yeah.
Maureen, what do you think should happen around this to offer support even for others who are likely to go through what you are going through?
Well, first and foremost, I would tell my fellow single parents, single mothers, that it is not yet over until it is over. God has the final say. And this child that has been placed in your hand is a gem, so take care of this child well. Do not pour your bitterness on the child, because you're preparing the child to become a single parent in future. A child growing up with bitterness may not be able to make good decisions, and they may end up marrying the wrong person and then fall into single parenting in future. So as you take care of yourself, you're also a person. You're valid, your emotions are valid, and accept this challenge. It is here with you. And also impact on the child, a lot of positivity, that the future holds a lot for them. And for the young ones who are not yet married, and especially the young girls, kindly be careful. Let nobody push you into any relationship if you're not ready. Because once you have this child and you are alone, your life changes. So I would encourage everyone just to take things positively. If you're still, maybe you don't have a child, but you're still single, and maybe you've hit that age, people are saying, oh, something should happen, and they're bringing men left, right to you. Please do not give in to the pressure. Remember, you're the one who's going to stay with this person. And you never know where you're going to end. You may stay 1 to 3 months, 1 year, you're left there as a single parent. Or you become a widow or a widower of the living. This person is there, but you're single. So there are scenarios that we can avoid. Avoid the pressure, and just stick to God. Be on your knees all the time. I think my role as a single mother is I especially feel for the young ones who are, at times I see them almost messing, and I feel in my heart like, wow, this girl, I just feel for them. I just feel for them. So at times I take them aside and just talk to them the truth, the reality that nobody else may not tell them. The mother may be too blind to see, the father may be too blind to see, but because I am in that, I'm there already.
So you're offering
I can see,
advice.
I can easily see. So I offer advice a lot to the young ones.
You want to talk to, Maureen has talked, as mentioned them, parents who are in but they're out.
Parents who are in but out, I think we just need to retrace retrace your steps. I know that God has given you a gift, the ability to become a parent. Just come back home so that we are able to nurture these children, because God really wants you to be part of this journey. Yeah.
Thank you. Tabby?
Wow, this has been interesting. Let's also, just like I mentioned, we should learn to speak positively to the child and to the mother or father. Because when we learn to speak positively, that stress level will go down and they will learn to appreciate life. So no negative things like, hey, you know what, you just like your daddy, you just like your mother, you just like, you know, that makes the child lose everything. So whatever the stress we get from either work or even the relationships that we have, we should not put it on or to our children. Yeah.
Okay. Richard?
Yeah. We understand the situation as it is. But the first thing that that person who is in a similar situation should understand is that they understand themselves. That's first. Secondly, I think it's important to find quality time with your child. You know what you want of your child. If you're a single parent, you know what you want of your child. And our good Lord is not away from us. He's not. He's forever with us. And we take it to him. We need to have a lot of prayer time as Christians so that God can see us through situations like this. Because he will never abandon us.
True.
Secondly, we have to pick a very good social support system. Choose wisely and carefully. So that the child you want to bring up will actually see what is good. Sometimes you just tell children, the quality of a child, quality of a good man. So-and-so is a good person. I don't like so-and-so because of A, B, C, D. Children will want to look for love, will want to look for, you know, all these kind of situations like normal children, because they have friends whose parents are both there. He or she is coming from a single family. And you know, they are out there. Pray, ask God to give them that eye to discern that which is good and that which is not good.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I say these statements and you agree with me. If you agree with me, say yes or no. Single parents are human beings.
Yes.
They are.
So
Single
be
parents
kind.
require love.
Yes. They are.
Be
Single
kind.
parents require support.
Yes, they do.
We sometimes that family of yours is a support to someone.
Yes.
And they'll never tell you.
Unknowingly, yes.
Remember, you need to act and be the good parents that you are, so that a single parent or a child to a single parent can look up to you. You are a role model. Be a blessing to that family. Be a blessing to that lady. Be a blessing to that man. Single parenting is not easy, as we have found out.
Let's not judge.
Let's not judge. Thank you, Linda. Let's not judge, but let us support them. Again, thank you, Maureen, for coming and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tabby and Richard. It has been a very exciting moment. Thank you, Linda, for supporting and giving me the words judgment. And thank you, our viewer, for watching. Stay tuned for another episode, which will be more exciting than this one.